just now. For attendance, please scan the QR code, or you may fill in the Google form that has been provided in the chat box for manual attendance. Alright, before we start our session later, a gentle reminder to all participants, please mute your microphone unless you need to speak to prevent disruption throughout this session. You are allowed to close your video cameras during the sharing session if you have connection problems. During the sharing session, you may type your questions in the Slido platform that will be provided in the chat box, or you may scan the QR code during the Q&A session itself. The feedback form will be provided in the chat box at the end of the session. All participants are required to fill in the form. Any constructive feedbacks are welcome for us to improve our performance in the future. And lastly, please make sure you are in your best decency, such as wearing proper attire, as we have photo session with our speakers later on. Thank you for your attention and cooperation. We will start at 2 p.m.
Meanwhile, did you have a great lunch, Miss Eliana? Oh, my girlfriend. Sorry.
Ileana, you're on mute.
I'm sorry. I do that all the time. So yes, to answer your question, I said I had a very quick lunch because I wanted to prepare myself for this presentation. I mean that's normal to me already. So again, because we work flexibly, so we tend to move our time around. Maybe I'll eat properly after this. How about you guys? Did you guys have a good break just now?
Well, just a quick lunch and also taking a nap for a while.
Wow, that's nice. I wish I could do that too.
After this webinar session,
After this
we
webinar.
could have the proper meal and
Yeah. I mean, no worries. It's part and parcel of working life. So sometimes we just have to, be adaptive to whatever appointments or meetings that we have. But we try to, have some balance. Work a little bit, and make sure that we have our personal time as well.
If I may ask, will Miss Farhana join us today?
Oh yeah, Joey, can you
Yes,
check
she will be
with
joining. Yeah, I already remind her she'll be joining later on.
Okay.
Sure. So we already have like 100 participants.
and also we did the live from Facebook, right, Danya?
Facebook.
Yes.
Oh, you have Facebook
Just in
Live?
case.
Sure. Yes, we have a Facebook.
Oh,
We did it
Just
live
in
from
case.
Facebook. Just in case.
nice.
Sometimes we start with the platforms. It always happens. So we did a breakup there.
Okay. So is this Facebook Live open to like all the I mean for other sessions? Will students will also be able to access it?
Yeah, we're having Facebook Live for each session. So for just now, the first session with in the morning, we have around 65 of them on the Facebook Live. It's not that much compared because in WebEx we have around 150 like that.
Oh. Okay.
So We're expecting around 150 as well for this session.
Okay.
And yeah, we also have international students.
International students.
Yes.
Yeah,
Many roughly international students.
How many, Anya? Roughly about?
I think roughly about 50 of them.
Okay, that's quite a fair bit. So are most of you from Kuching or from Sarawak?
Yeah, I think we can say that because most of us we are mostly from UNIMAC Sarawak. But
Yeah.
also,
So UNIMAC students all not all from Sarawak, right? Or
No, no,
Yeah,
no.
no.
I'm from Selangor.
Yeah, I'm from Penang.
okay,
Quite a few
okay.
from West Malaysia, right? I think.
Yeah.
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 By the way, where are you from?
Who, me?
Yes.
Yes,
Uh,
Miss Elena, Miss Joey.
I'm in KL. I've always been in KL. So I want to say that I have some experience living in other states, but unfortunately I don't.
Mm.
Yeah, me too. I've always been in KL. I born in KL, live in KL.
It's okay. It's okay. I do understand.
Yeah, that's our boring life.
I was also in KL, but now I'm in Kuching.
Miss Karen, have you been in coaching office for quite a long time?
Kuching office, how many years? 15 years?
Wow.
16 years?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's quite a long time.
Yes, yeah, I'm still here. I like it so much, huh?
Yeah. What's your favorite food, Sarawak food, Miss Karen? Would you say?
Favorite Sarawak food?
Oh,
Gosh, I never thought of that,
I
no?
like gula apong.
Gula apong is very famous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like the
Sarawak
first thing
laksa
that
is good. Yeah. Our
Right.
Sarawak laksa.
Yeah.
Sarawak laksa, yeah.
We also love it very much when we went back there because if compare laksa Penang and laksa Sarawak, unfortunately I like laksa Sarawak more.
Yeah, me too. I like the Sarawak one more.
Yeah.
Because
Because
the
there's-
Sarawak one uses spaghetti,
Spices.
no? Or what?
More spices.
More
Yeah.
spices.
I don't,
Just a bit different, I guess. I think it's just more spices. What did Anthony Bourdain said? Breakfast of the gods, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
my sister doing eBay, and then my sister sells the laksa Sarawak paste.
Mhm.
I think in 1 week he sell about 500 bags. I don't know.
Wow.
The customer said it's really tasty for them because of the Anthony. What is it? Anthony.
Anthony Bourdain.
Yeah. Yes.
Mm.
It's quite viral in the.
Yeah.
Wow.
New Zealand, I think.
Can I buy from Shopee or not?
Yeah, of course you can.
No, I mean from your sister.
Boleh. Sure.
Okay, can
Oh,
I
she has a
please
store in Shopee too.
Sure, you can. PM.
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 Personally.
Suddenly selling Sarawak laksa.
It's been like 20 years.
10 years, that's a long time.
Wow.
Okay, I see we have a lot of participants already in the session.
Yes.
130 plus.
Great. So happy to see your enthusiasm. Are most of these students from accounting or they come from mixed background? Or what would you say?
Mostly they are from accounting background, as we saw from the Google form.
Okay.
And then mostly what year? From all years or?
I think quite a few is from third year, second and third year. I know that some of my friends, they are very keen to join this webinar because actually we'll be having our internship placement, starting our internship like I think this July. So they're
That's
like,
right.
oh yeah,
Mm.
want to listen about the internship journey, want to listen on how to prepare for internship using the LinkedIn, so they feel that very
Yes.
relevant.
Yeah, we have actually started receiving internship applications already. There are some very excited students.
So mostly internship. Anyone in final year? We have anyone from final year? Participants, I know you're listening to this, so can we just have a gauge if anyone on final year, maybe you can use the emoticon to raise your hand so that we can see.
That's so loud.
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
great.
Can
Okay,
we
we're
see?
very, very excited to
Oh,
have you join EY. Wow, that's a lot.
great. Mm.
Nice, nice. I love the energy from you guys.
Keep up the momentum.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's the kind of energy that we want in EY, guys.
EY.
Who knows, one of the participants will join EY later.
Definitely
Mm.
more than one, I'm sure.
I'm sure.
Okay, we are 1 minute to 2 o'clock.
All
I
right.
guess we are
Okay.
almost ready.
Almost
Mhm.
there. Then
All right. We will take over the session first. Okay. Hello and welcome again to the second session of webinar series with Ernst Young.
I'm Asma Hanis.
And I'm Dania Misli, your moderators for this session. We hope everyone has had a refreshing break just now before we continue with another sharing session. So, how are you guys feeling right now? If you feel good, please type yes in the chat box so we can see if you are doing well or not.
Type yes
Let,
if you are feeling good.
let me see first.
Come on, spam the chat. Wow.
Oh, okay.
Right
That's
there.
nice to see everyone is doing well. So we can continue with today's session, right, Asma?
Yes, Danya. So, Danya, first session we discussed about KPMG regarding the career insight, and now we are moving on the second session. And did you know what we are going to listen in the second session, Danya?
Of course I know about it, Asma. So should we give them a little insight about it?
I think yes, Danya. I'm pretty sure that they are excited to know about Ernst and Young. If you guys are eager to know our speakers and the topic will be presented, please type EY in the chat box.
I'm gonna
Come,
type
let
it
me see
EY,
the
myself.
if you are
reaction.
eager to know.
Yes, please spam with EY. Ooh, okay.
Can I also
Alright.
type in?
Yes, you can.
Keep spamming, keep spamming. We want the momentum.
Wow, Asma, they are very
Wow.
enthusiastic today.
I can feel, I feel motivated. All right. So, moving on, today will be another exciting session with our invited speakers, Miss Eliana Anwar, and we also have Miss Farhana Rahimi will be joined later. We hope both of you are doing good and looking forward having fun and informative session from both of you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is a great pleasure for me to introduce our guest speakers for today. For the first part of the session, we will have Ms. Eliana Anwar, who is an employer branding and campus engagement lead in Ernst Young Malaysia, as she will present on how to build a professional profile through LinkedIn. And also for the second part of the session, it will be presented by Ms. Farhana, who is a campus recruiter in Ernst Young with the title Internship Journey. Without wasting our time, please welcome Ms. Eliana. The floor is yours.
Hi guys. I hope all of you have had a good lunch. As what I shared with the committee earlier, I didn't really get a proper lunch because I was preparing for this presentation. Okay. So before we go into preparing our LinkedIn profile, can I just quickly bring you through like what EY is all about? Yeah. so that you all know. I mean, you've heard what it's like from other firms, and why don't listen from UI as well, so that could give you a better overview of which professional services firm that you want to join. Okay, just give me a moment. Let me just open my slide. Okay, so as mentioned by Dania just now, I am the Employer Branding and Campus Engagement Lead at EY. So basically, I sit under the talent team, or what we call the HR. And together with me today, I have Miss Joey and also Miss Karen. Miss Karen is actually from EY Kuching office. So if there's anything about Kuching office that you want to ask specifically, you can ask Miss Karen in the Q&A session later. All right. So just a very quick one. Let's have a look at this video of what careers at EY is all about. Moment. Right, so that's a little bit of an intro of the careers at EY. So as you can see from the music itself, it's very energetic, it's very like adrenaline rushing, and that's the kind of energy that we want from our people at EY. Okay, so this is I'm just going to start with a bigger picture first of who we are as a firm. So as you can see in the map on the screen here, all of the countries that you see are the countries where EY office is currently present. So that's over 150 countries, and this reflects how big our network is in the world right now. So the scale of our network is actually reflected through the global recognition that we receive from Universum, which has recognized us as the top 10 world's most attractive employer in the world. Okay, I mean, of course, we do have local recognition as well, which I will take you through later on, but this is just to show you, if we are in the top 10 list, it means we are actually standing on the same ground as all the big giants that you've heard of, you know, like companies like Google, Facebook, Samsung, Apple. So all that is actually in the top 10 company, and EY is actually at number 7. All right, next, zooming into our region, EY in Asia Pacific. Of course, this is where we are. Malaysia is one of the countries among all the 23 others. And then in Malaysia, we have 12 offices in total. So we do have a few offices in East Malaysia as well, as you can see. Why am I showing you this? Is so that you can see how extensive our local offices are in Malaysia itself. Okay, and of course, our main headquarters is in Kuala Lumpur. That's in Damansara Heights. It's a very prime area, and in KL alone, we have about 2,000 over people. Last I checked, and then the rest are all scattered across Malaysia. So as you can see, we also have our Kuching office, and from what I heard, Kuching office is actually one of the nicest offices among all the other offices we have in the country, because they just like went through this renovation and all that, which also is aligned with our new policy of working at EY. Okay, so I will touch on. I'll come back to this topic about our locations after this, but just hold your thought to this and just remember that we have 12 locations across Malaysia. All right, now in Malaysia, we have almost 4,000 people, and that actually means we are the largest professional services organization in the country. So comparatively to all Big Four, our practice is the largest. And this is also reflected by the number of partners that we have. And of course, because of the scale and also because of the quality of people that we have in the firm, we have actually been voted as #1 in consulting and accounting and professional services in these two awards, which is the Malaysia's 100 Leading Graduate Employers and the Graduates' Choice Award. Okay, so it's easier to remember we're #1 in consulting and accounting and professional services. And actually for GCA, one of our sector is actually #2, but overall, I think for M100, we are #1 across all the Big Four. Okay, so that's a pretty big deal, and we are very, very proud of that. Now, let's look at the people that we have in EY. So these are the background of the people in EY. They come from all sorts of degree. We have cybersecurity, we have actuarial, accounting and finance, of course, IT, banking, engineering. I myself came from Mescom. It's not a very popular degree, but hey, I made it in EY. So this actually means EY actually accepts all sorts of people from diverse background, regardless of your degree. So as long as you have the right skill for the role that you're applying for, and then you have the passion to succeed, it's always possible for you to pursue your career in EY, okay? So just because your degree is in accounting, for example, you don't necessarily have to join assurance or audit. It does not work like that. Of course, you can still pursue audit or any other sub-service lines under assurance, but we do also encourage students from accounting to join our consulting service line, for example, because under consulting itself, we have business consulting, technology consulting, and people advisory services. So I'm going to talk a little bit more in detail on that part later on, but this is just to show how diverse are our people in EY right now. Okay, so I know most of you are from accounting and finance background, but if there's any who are not, don't worry, this session is also for you. Yeah. Okay, so in Malaysia alone, these are the list of sectors where we are serving our clients, and usually the questions that would come with this is response to why like people like graduates should start working in an external audit firm like in a Big Four rather than an internal audit, because when you join companies like EY, you get to be exposed to handling the different client projects in different sectors, whereas if you start your career in internal audit in the company itself, then your scope will be limited to the business of that company alone. Okay, but this is not to say that it's better to be external or which one is better, but it goes down to preference, of course, and it boils down to your career aspiration and your career goal. But in terms of exposure, this is why one of the things that you should consider if you want to have more exposure in terms of the different client projects, then organizations like EY is the place for you to kickstart your career. Okay. So, working at EY, why is it good to build lifelong relationship with people? Because we want people who demonstrate these values. Okay, and of course, we don't just simply accept any Tom, Dick, and Harry to join EY. There are certain criteria, and we're very, very strict with that. Regardless, although our practice is the largest in Malaysia right now, but we also go through a very stringent screening process so that we make sure that we hire the right people with the right energy level. Okay. Now, this is a lot of things for me to cover because I do have to cover a little bit more on the LinkedIn profile. But just to briefly show you in terms of the career growth, like if you start off as an associate at EY, you will be partnered with a counselor who will guide you through your career progression. And at EY, we're very, very flexible. We don't just, set, okay, you within 3 years, you will progress to this. Within 4 years, you progress to this level. Within whatever year, it doesn't work like that. At EY, if you notice in the video I played earlier, it says the exceptional EY experience, it's yours to build. So what it means by that is your own career aspiration is for you to decide how long you want to take. If you think you are very ambitious, you want to make partner within, I don't know, 10, 12 years, that's possible. You just have to work your way towards it. But we also understand that some people have different commitments. They want to take things a little bit slower because they have other commitments, personal commitments, for example. That's fine too. So it's all up to you. It's yours to build. Yeah. Now, well-being, again, this one, if I talk about the different branches under well-being that we have in EY, you'll probably be staying here until 6 o'clock. So I'm just going to cover like the 4 key pillars under well-being that we have in EY, which is physical, mental, emotional, and social. Later on, I'm just going to show you a few pictures of life at EY where you can see the different varieties of well-being initiatives that we have in EY. Okay, and that includes EAP, which is our employee assistance program that actually supports our people if they're having challenges in terms of managing their mental health. We have a dedicated hotline for that where EY people can call into the hotline for free and they will get free treatment from certified mental health professionals. Yeah. Skills and learning. This is another thing that is quite huge in EY because as of now, EY is the only firm that offers free MBA program to their people. Okay, so this MBA program is not some kind of a random MBA degree. It is actually done in partnership with a university in the US called Hult University. And it's a fully accredited MBA program. So any of you who are thinking of doing an MBA degree, if you get to join EY, this is one program that you can certainly go for, and all of the fees will be covered FOC. Apart from that, we also have EY badges. So you see some people on LinkedIn, they have their digital badges where they display their accreditations, their credentials. This shows like how they specialize in certain areas. So we do offer that program as well. And all of this is actually open right from interns. So we have free learning platforms which interns can also take advantage of. That learning platform is actually one of my favorite things in EY because it's not like all serious things. It's not about technical or accounting regulation and all that. No, it's not like that. There are a lot of interesting courses that you can take up from this platform, like language courses, web design, whatever, anything like watercoloring, anything. It's all free of charge. Yeah, the platform is called Udemy, UDEMY. If you actually go on Google and look for it, you can see all of the courses there are actually paid courses. But if you log in with your EY email address, all of these courses are free, and some of the courses can cost up to 50 to 100 US dollars. Yep, so that's a very, very big advantage if you join EY. And mobility is how we support our people to fulfill their career aspirations. So some people, they want to move between locations. I do have some colleagues in EY who have been seconded to EY London, to EY Australia, EY Hong Kong, Japan, Korea, everywhere around the world. And this is not impossible at all for you. So there are different projects in EY. So as you can see how extensive our global network is, we have presence in over 150 countries. So if you really want to work your way towards having this mobility access, you can look for like the different projects that might suit your skill. And if there is a suitable role where you can actually request to be part of this project, there is a possibility that you can be seconded to the project overseas. Yeah. And then corporate responsibility, this is some people call it CSR, but in EY we call it as EY Ripples. And we've done various initiatives locally to support people from like B40 backgrounds. So we also cover areas under sustainability, and we also support impact entrepreneurs. Okay, and then transformative leadership is how we groom our people to be leaders of the future. We have various programs under transformative leadership. Diversity and inclusiveness, now it's actually called diversity, equity, and inclusiveness. And this is actually reflected through the diverse and inclusive people that we have in EY. And teaming and sense of belonging are very, very important to us. So as you can see in this session today, I am not alone. I am being supported by 3 of my colleagues. I have my recruiter with me, Miss Farhana. I have Joey, who is also working in the campus engagement team with me. I have Miss Karen from the EY coaching office. So we all work together closely, and that just shows how close-knit we are as a firm. All right. So all of this actually leads up to one thing, which is our purpose. That is building a better working world. How we can do this? How we can build a better working world? By taking advantage of all these initiatives that we have for you to help yourself, help the people around you, and help your community. And that ultimately will lead us to all of us building a better working world. And when you take advantage of all of these advantages that we offer to our people, that's also how you can build your own exceptional EY experience. Okay, so also mindful of time, I'm just going to cover very briefly about the different service lines in EY. We have 4 main service lines, which is assurance, consulting, strategy and transactions, and also tax. And FYI, these people that you see on screen are actually our own people. Okay, we don't need to hire models. We have very, very talented people in EY who are not only auditors, consultants, tax professionals and all that. They can actually sometimes double up as models too. Okay, so and in terms of the sub-service lines under assurance, we of course have external audit, that's most popular, and assurance is currently our biggest practice in the firm. We also have climate change and sustainability services, which is a growing team because sustainability is a popular buzzword in the industry right now. So some of you who are passionate in sustainability, maybe this is one area that you can consider joining. Apart from that, we have FAAS, which is Financial Accounting Advisory Services, and we also have Forensic and Integrity Services under Assurance. And the rest of them, and we also have Consulting, Strategy and Transactions, and then we also have Tax. If you want to know more about the different sub-service lines that we have, you can always head over to our careers website where you can, read in your own time, digest, and, understand what do these each of these service lines do. How is it different than other service lines? I don't know. I mean, more or less they are quite similar, except that for us we have strategy and transactions, which focuses on mostly mergers and acquisitions projects. Yeah. So this is basically what we have in EY. And apart from this, we also have core business services, which is the service line that I am under. So I'm in another talent team. Under core business services, you'll see people from IT, from the markets, business development, research, people from legal, people from risk management. So these, for us in core business services, we support the client serving colleagues to, whatever need, whatever support that they need from us. Okay. Now, okay, so we have almost reached towards the end of overview of EY. This is pretty much what life is. Okay, most of them are before COVID. So we are hoping that we could resume our COVID-free life soon. I don't know how soon, but let's be optimistic. So before this, we had Bring Your Kids to Work Day. We had Cultural Diversity Day. We had International Women's Day. All these celebrations in the office. And on the top left corner, you see My Wellbeing Box. This is the care package that we sent out to all our offices across Malaysia. So every single employee in EY, and almost 4,000 of us, received this care package. And then apart from that, so these are some of the well-being initiatives that we have. We had club EY hosting fun workshops like batik painting. We also had virtual charity run, and then at EY, TEYF is a thing, which means every Friday afternoon, our people can actually take the time off to do like self-development things, like maybe they need to catch up on their personal courses. They need to use the time to learn something new. They need to use the time to focus on their work without anyone bothering. So that can be like your own little quiet time to focus on your work. So that's why instead of TGIF, we call it as TEYF. So I'm very, very excited for that. And then last year, we started our assurance recharge week for our colleagues in assurance, where they can take up the whole week of no work at all. That's our assurance recharge week. And then if you want to learn more about the different well-being offerings that we offer at EY, we also have a flip book which you can open from our website, careers website. And if you notice, some of you whom may have followed us on Instagram, you might have seen that we recently had our virtual annual dinner last December. So that was quite a fun thing to do, because actually before COVID, we used to host this really huge annual dinner in KL Convention Center. We took up all the exhibition halls because, I mean, come on, like almost like how many thousands of us? Of course, it needs to be big enough to accommodate everyone, right? But most of them are our colleagues from KL office. So we all like gather together like on that night for annual dinner, and that's a really, really fun thing. And I hope we can do that again when things are a little bit settled. Okay, so I'm now going to cover on the LinkedIn profile. I hope you are excited to hear all of that offerings in EY. I know maybe different firms have different specialties, different programs, but again, I'm not here to, ask you guys to compare or anything, but just look at which of these programs are aligned to your values. Okay, so we don't want to, force people or whatever. If you think EY is the right place for you, and you see the sense of belonging that we have, the energy level that we have amongst our team, maybe EY is a place for you to consider starting your career. Yeah. Okay, now let's proceed with our next part of the session. I do have until 3 o'clock, right, to talk about LinkedIn profile.
Yes, Miss Eliana.
Okay, great. Hang on, yeah. Okay, usually like building a LinkedIn profile would take about an hour, but I'll try to compress it into half an hour so that you guys can still get some learnings out of it, and at the same time, not being too bothered by all the additional details. Okay, now, let me see. Trying to put it up on screen right now. Okay. Let me know if you have seen my slide.
All right. We can see it.
Okay, great. So here I'm going to just show you these 4 key areas. How you can recognize the importance of LinkedIn in relation to your personal brand, how you can optimize your LinkedIn profile, how you can increase your visibility, and how to be a good LinkedIn citizen. Okay, I see new people are coming into the session. Great, guys, please don't if you have friends who are still yet to join, tell them to join now, because otherwise they're going to miss out on the session. Okay, next, LinkedIn and your personal brand. I'm sure most of you have heard of LinkedIn, so I do want to just, backtrack all the way to talk about what LinkedIn is and why is it so important. Just briefly, I will share with you. Okay. Um, I'm guilty of this. I Google my name every now and then just to see what comes up in the search results. That's how vain I am. But actually, in my sense, actually not a bad thing, because then you'll be able to see what other people are seeing about you, and that actually reflects your personal brand. So let's say you want to apply for a job, right? And then I know not all employers would do background check through Google for the candidates, but you never know, right? So better be safe than sorry. You better remove all those really unwanted Facebook photos of you partying or whatever from the search results from public views, just to make sure that you have positive overview of yourself on Google. Yeah. And why LinkedIn is important, because when you have a LinkedIn profile, this will actually come up as one of the top search results, because LinkedIn is actually considered as a key platform for Google. And that's why it's very important for you, university students who are starting your career very soon, to have a LinkedIn profile. Yeah. And so just briefly, what is LinkedIn? You know this is the largest social network for professionals. So I'm not going to compare this to TikTok or Instagram or Facebook. Of course, a lot more people are on TikTok. I wouldn't deny that. But the operative word here is professionals. Yeah. So that's why whatever that you post on LinkedIn must be professional. Okay. And then it's a platform for you to find job opportunities. Unless you are from some royalty family who don't need to look for a job or something, maybe you don't need a LinkedIn profile. I don't know. But for most of us, or what we call the golongan marhain, right? So we do need to find for jobs at some point, and not just any job. You want to find a job that fits your career goals as well. Yeah, so LinkedIn is the place for you. And then it's also a channel for you to connect with people in the industry. And then it's also a good way to build your online presence. So this goes back to my earlier point about the Google search results and all. Okay, so as a student, is it really important? Quick answer, yes, because it shows that you are serious about starting your career. I have personally seen some students who have a LinkedIn profile, but it's empty. So, that actually doesn't make me very excited to find out more about this student. Like, why would I want to, hire this student to join our team? Because it looks like this person is not even serious about creating a proper LinkedIn profile for people to see. So that shows how serious you are about starting your career. And then you need to build your network with the recruiters or potential employers. So that's why you can add once you get to know our recruiter. So in this session we have Miss Farhana Raimi, whom we will share about the internship journey at EY. You can maybe add her on LinkedIn. After this, she will be sharing all sorts of career opportunities for internship programs. And sometimes we also share our colleagues from our other recruiters in the team, who are also hiring for graduate roles. We also share their posts. So some of you who might be looking for graduate roles can also apply through the postings that we share. And that's why it's important for you to connect with the potential employees on LinkedIn. And then the third point is that you can also keep up with industry news, because sometimes when you go for an interview, the hiring manager would ask you about the industry news. And, LinkedIn could be a source of information for you to get the latest news from. Okay. This is the problem that we see with students on LinkedIn. Okay. Don't lie. I'm sure most of you fall into this pool. Don't worry. That's why I'm here to just show you what are the gaps that we have seen from the LinkedIn profiles of university students. Okay, they have a very basic profile. Some of them don't even have a photo. Like like you want to apply for a job, also like not excited to apply for a job. So why would employers excited to hire you, right? So number one, you just have a basic profile. That shouldn't be the way. You should complete your profile. Number two, some students, they don't know what to do on the platform. I've created my LinkedIn profile, and then what? That's why number one, Google is your friend. So find information on Google, what you can do on LinkedIn, how you can optimize your profile on LinkedIn, what you can do, because there's so many functionalities on LinkedIn. Not just to look for jobs, actually LinkedIn has learning courses as well, which you can take advantage of. Okay, and then the third thing is that people underestimate its capability. So this goes back to my earlier point about people not knowing the functions within LinkedIn beyond searching for a job. And then number four, not leveraging to its maximum potential. So this includes not adding people in the industry, not following the latest news, all that. Okay, there are just so many things that people can do on LinkedIn that users, especially students, tend to overlook. Okay, how do you optimize your profile? Okay, most of you, if you have LinkedIn, you can just make sure that you reach the all-star status on your profile. This, when you have achieved the all-star status, it means your profile is complete. Okay, some of you might not be an all-star user, which is fine, but just make sure that your profile strength is not so low. Okay, make sure it's like the indicator is leaning towards the right hand side, towards the more fulfilled part of the meter. So make sure it's at least intermediate or advanced. Okay, so this is how you can start. Like you click on the main and you click on the view profile, and then you can see from your dashboard how many people viewed your profile, how many people have viewed your post and all that. Okay, so this is actually a profile of my former colleague. So just to show you as an example, okay, public URL is very important because you can actually use this URL to be placed in your resume as well. Okay, because once you have this URL, it essentially means you have your own website. Yeah. Some of you who don't have a personal website, don't worry. You can even use your LinkedIn URL, and some recruiters might even check on you through this URL that you have put in your resume. So see, multi-purpose. You kind of like have a personal website that reflects your own personal achievements as well. And then of course, make sure you put in your profile picture, your background picture, and when you put in your pictures, make sure they are professional pictures. Okay, I know you have your cats and all that, you want to show whatever, having fun with friends and all, but LinkedIn is not the place for that. Make sure it looks professional, headshot preferably, and then your background image can be anything. So at the end of this session, you'll probably see my LinkedIn profile as well. And then the summary. This summary is kind of like a mini cover letter. Okay, so some of you who might not be able to send your cover letter to recruiters, this can be shown through your about section in the summary. Okay, and then this recent activity, why it's important to you, not just to show how much you've been commenting or how much you've been liking on other people's posts. It's actually to show how active you are on LinkedIn. And this, for me, it kind of gives an indication of what kind of content are you more interested in. Like how do you interact with people? How do you use your how do you speak? How do you communicate in a business setting and all that? So through the comments and all that, a lot can be seen from all those. Okay, and then experience. Of course, most of you students who do not have an experience yet, don't worry. Some of you who have participated in student association or in UNIMAC, for example, that's actually a good starting point for you to put as your experience, because that shows the different skills that you have acquired by being part of the association in your university. Okay, even if you are like an AJK or something, you're not the president, you're not vice president or whatever, that's fine. People just recruiters especially, they just want to see how active you are in university. So even if you have volunteering experience, you can also put that in. But there's another section for that in LinkedIn where you can put in your volunteering experience. And of course, education. Put in your university, your years, the activities and societies that you have participated in. Okay. So just I mentioned just now, volunteer experience. If you have volunteered in any projects, please put those details in. It's very, very important. Some of you who might not be very active in sports and all that, but they do have volunteering experience, that actually adds up to your application as well. Okay. And then recommendations. Like I didn't realize this, when I was in university, how important this recommendation is until I finished my uni, and then I realized, oh no, actually I was very active in uni, and I could have asked for recommendations from my my lecturer whom I work very closely on a project or on an event, who can actually give me recommendation to basically explain how well I've been doing in university, who can probably talk about my leadership skill. So those are the things that could probably help to help the recruiters to see what kind of person you are in uni. So if you don't have a recommendation yet, maybe if you have like a lecturer, or you have a mentor in uni whom you've worked with very closely on a project or on an assignment, or a final year project, for example, it's probably worth getting a recommendation from. Okay. Now, this layout I think has changed a little bit as of now, but how to find jobs on LinkedIn, you just basically click on the jobs tab and then put in the title. So like for EY, for example, maybe you can just put in associate, or you can just put in EY in there. Yeah. And then put in the location where you want to look for, the location of your preferred career, and then you just click search, and then after that you'll see the different varieties of career opportunities on LinkedIn. Okay, so how do you make your profile stand out? Number one, you cannot stand out on LinkedIn if you're not active. So it goes back to the earlier point, you need to maximize all the functionalities on LinkedIn. And at the very least, these are the 3 things that you can do. You be effective every day. You just log into LinkedIn, and how to easily do that? Download it to your phone. Okay, we all spend don't know how many hours on our phones, so why don't add LinkedIn into your phone so that you can log in to that app just to see what are people talking about, any interesting opportunities, what are EY recruiters talking about, what did Eliana post today, what did Joey post today, is Miss Karen posting any new opportunities in EY coaching office. So it just a few minutes of that, you'll be surprised to see how much information you can get. Okay, and then number 2, how you can be active is start building your network. Don't be scared to add connection, or sending connection requests to people in the industry. I've seen students sending connection requests even to partners and all that. And in EY, there's no such thing as hierarchy. We work flexibly with everyone, and you can just if you want to send connection requests to our Malaysia assurance leader, you can do that. So don't worry, don't be scared. Yeah. And then last but not least, engage with your connections. Of course, ideally, if you can, you post comments, or if you don't feel like talking to people, one of those days where you just is macam you don't feel like saying anything, just click like. That would work too. Okay. So I understand I have those moments too, but I also want to stay active on LinkedIn just to make sure that people know I am still alive. So that's what I would do. Okay, this one is like another level. If you want to publish something, you can also do that on LinkedIn. You can write an article, but of course it's not some random article that adds no value. Of course, it has to carry some weight. You can talk about why studying from home is the way forward, or something like that. by writing an article, it can actually reflect your thought process. It shows how well you write, how well you communicate your ideas, how clear can you present your views. So all that adds up. But of course, I know writing is not for everyone. You can always start small by, writing a short article about your thoughts and opinion, and especially in EY where everyone's views are accepted. So this could be your starting point, to openly share your views about the industry. It doesn't have to sound so intelligent or technical, because we all understand you are students and you can write from the perspective of a student, right? So people will value that. And like people like me, for example, I go around asking students from all sorts of universities. So even like with Danya and Azma and all the committee just now, I asked what it's like to be studying remotely. I find it interesting to hear views from different students about how they're adapting with the different learning environment and all that. Yeah. So don't be afraid. Don't feel intimidated just because you're a student. It does not mean that your voice is not heard. Yeah. So, but of course, do your research. Do not plagiarize other people's writing. It has to be original. Okay. So, in conclusion, what did I say just now? It's so easy to be a good LinkedIn citizen. First things first, download on your phone. Okay. And then take the time to check your messages. You'll be surprised. Some recruiters might just drop you a message in your inbox asking you if you'd be interested for a role. You never know, right? And then you also see some notifications from people. Let's say you posted something on LinkedIn and you never know, like maybe the CEO of MIGPA could be commenting to your post because it's such an insightful post coming from a student. You never know, right? So don't ignore your LinkedIn notifications. You would be surprised of the kind of things you'll see through your interactions on LinkedIn. Okay, but of course, remember, don't simply connect to everyone and anyone on LinkedIn. Like for me, I of course would filter through the list of connection requests that I get. If I know this person is a student, I have probably done an engagement session with his or her university. Then I thought, oh, okay, maybe this person saw me in an online session like this one, right? So I would have a certain level of risk management there. I don't just simply accept everyone. So you never know, right? I've received some connection requests from Tanzania of an oil and gas engineer, which has nothing to do with what I'm doing or has nothing to do with the careers that we're offering at EY. So I do have some limitations in terms of who I accept. Okay. Usually I would see first if this person has a profile photo or not. So if you don't even want to show who you are as a person, why should I add you on LinkedIn? Yeah. Okay. And then, like I mentioned earlier, go through your newsfeed just 5 minutes a day. You would never thought what kind of interesting industry news you'll see. And for all you know, it could probably help you in your interview even. Okay. And then finally, you can also share your content that's related to your interests. So it could be anything. I mean, if you are if you're interested in the area of sustainability, you can share a post about that, or you can reshare someone's post and put your own caption to just articulate your views about that particular topic. There are so many ways to do things on LinkedIn. Okay. So we have kind of like almost reached towards the end, but I am aware that we have about slightly less than 15 minutes more. So I'm going to go back to my earlier slide about recruitment before my colleague Farhana takes over and shares about the internship opportunities at EY. Okay. Okay. So now we are recruiting interns and graduates to join EY. If you are seriously interested to come and join us, please stay tuned until the end of the session, because we do have a fast track link that we open up to students in UNIMAC who have attended our engagement session. If you want to apply to EY, what is great about this fast track application is that our recruiters have direct access to the CVs submitted through this unique link. Okay, so stay tuned until the end. I will now pass the floor to Farhana, and then after that I will share the link for the fast track application after Farhana's session. Okay. So Farhana, you can maybe take over. We have a little bit more extra time.
All right. Okay. Great. Thank you, Elena. So, good evening, everyone. My name is Farhana. One of the campus with white. Today I also have my colleague, who's also on the call. We're projecting the slides now. Okay. So what we will be sharing with you today is the EY internship journey. Next, Najiha. All right, thank you. So I would like you to ask yourselves, what if you could actually personalize your career, like how you do your Spotify playlist or your iTunes playlist, right? Yeah. So it's as unique as your playlist can be. So it's really yours to build lah. Okay, next, Nadia. Thank you. Okay, so today we will look at 4 things. Who do we look for? What you can expect, and also what's in it from you, and then also the career opportunities with EY, and also some tips and guide on your application. All right, so who do we look for? I think my colleague Eliana just now shared at EY, we don't only focus on who you are now, but also what you can become in the future, right? So these are some of the things that we look for. So if you are someone who has an agile and growth mindset, then you know what matters, and you know that it's important to succeed. You have to have the right mindset, right? So we're actually looking for people who are innovative and also can work in agile ways, and also keep pace with a rapidly changing world. Then we also look for people who are curious and purpose-driven, people who see opportunities instead of challenges, and also ask better questions to eventually seek better answers so that we can build a better working world. Right, so that's the vision of admission of EY. So another thing that we look for is people who are inclusive. So we seek people who embrace diverse perspectives and also value differences, and also team inclusively to actually build trust. And another part is if you're someone who is consistently strong in your academic performance, and you also have good leadership qualities and good extracurricular activities as well. All right. Okay, next. Thank you. So let's have a look at some of the people in EY. So like Eliana shared before, we are not only an accounting firm. So we are, in fact, we provide professional services. So for example, people from accounting, commerce, economics. Me, myself, I'm also not from the HR department background. I actually studied engineering previously, but now I'm here. Yes. So next is what you can expect. All right, thank you. So some of the things that you can expect, we want you to be able to actually build the career as yours and your own, right? Like the playlist just now. So what happens is we want to support you in terms of your journey to becoming the best professional self that you can. So one of the things that you will expect is that you work side by side with our market leading entrepreneurs and also visionaries to actually explore some of our businesses. And then you'll also be part of our organization that is seamlessly actually connected geographically and also globally. And then in EY, you also find that you'll be able to be part of a diverse and inclusive culture where all your ideas are embraced and also respected for who you are as well. So we eventually want you to feel that you belong here, right? Because that's what we want when we come into work, and we're like, oh, we want to, in a way, fit in and also be valued and respected. All right. So what's in it for you? Najia, next, thank you. So these are some of the things that we can focus on. Work experience, personal and professional development, keeping up with our industry news, and also getting to know our leaders. Yes, and then build a professional network and also an inclusive career. All right, next. So in terms of work experience, as a global leader in assurance tax, strategy, transaction, and also consulting, we actually hire and develop the most passionate people in their field to help build a better working world. So we provide you with real work experiences, real clients, and also training and development to actually kickstart your graduate opportunity. Yeah, so next we focus on your personal and professional development. So how this happens is we provide you growth through support, coaching and feedback from your colleagues, from your engagement managers that are centered around your development. And also you actually have the freedom and flexibility to handle your role in a way that is actually right for you lah. All right. And then at EY, like I mentioned, we want to build a career as unique as you are. Right, so we do provide the scale and the teams and also the technology. So we show you what's possible, and then you'll see the opportunities that we actually have and how you can actually stay connected with further courses and also the development programs that we have. Like Elena shared, one of the things that's best in EY is the learning platform, right? Yeah, so if you want to have knowledge in something, there's always a certain learning that you can take up and do on your own time. Yeah. So the next part is actually to help you build a diverse network where it's filled with peers and also our firm's leadership by broadening your horizons through working with our team across the globe as well. All right. So your point of view to us, it matters a lot. And we also want you to feel deserved and included, right? So we are here actually to work towards building a culture where you are embraced for who you are. So we want you to be empowered to use your voice and then let us know your ideas and also to help others eventually find theirs. Okay, so we actually solve the toughest challenges together with our team by valuing our differences and also teaming inclusively. All right, next. Yep. So we often actually get a question, what happens after my internship? What can I do? How do I get a conditional offer? How do I convert to a permanent? So please allow me to share a little bit on the career progression and what it looks like in EY. So I just want all of you to note that the timeline is actually different for different people, and it also is depending on your interests. Right. So actually, upon completing your internship, a conditional offer is actually applicable to those who are able to return within a year. So if you're in your penultimate year, you are actually eligible for a conditional offer with the firm. And to those who are in the final semester, a conversion to permanent role is applicable based on your performance review lah. Yeah. So what happens next is once you get the conditional offer, then come back to work with EY full time. We actually have one of our Welcome to EY virtual events where it's a series of onboarding to actually create an exceptional candidate experience for you to make sure that you actually feel engaged with us throughout your whole onboarding journey and also be prepared to build a successful career with EY the moment you join full time. So another thing that I think Elena shared just now, one of the best things in EY is we have a support network, a counselor and also a buddy. So each new joiner is actually assigned a counselor and also a buddy advisor to provide focused support during the onboarding experience and also beyond that. So what happens is if you have any questions, like let's say, oh, I'm interested in learning and development. So what kind of opportunities can I go into? So your counselors are actually the people who connect you with the correct people to see, to explore what you're interested in and then also help you build that exceptional experience for yourself. Okay, so certification exams. At EY, we do have several certifications that are important at our firm, especially if you want to get promoted in certain service lines. So for example, CPA, MIPAS, bar exams. And while obtaining the certification, we actually provide support in place in terms of financial obligations that is related to the certification, right? All right, so moving on to the last part, which is the ways to make your profile stand out, right? Like Elena has just presented in the past hour. So here are some of the tips that I think as recruiters we can share with you today on how we notice you. So the first part is your resume. So building credibility in your resume. So what does that mean, right? You need to ensure that when you send over your resume, you make the necessary adjustments or check thoroughly what are some of the relevant experiences that you have gained and you want us to know? And then some of the skills and competencies that you have, any student research you have done, that would be great as well. Any competitions that you have participated in, and also any volunteering work you have done. All right, so the next part is your cover letter. So we usually read through the cover letter depending on the role that you're interested in, and also to keep it concise. So some of the questions that you can ask yourself is, what is the primary goal of the role? What are the required qualifications and also the preferred skills of the job? And what are some of the traits that an ideal candidate have, right? Or what is your strength that you want us to know as well? And please address the correct company and the correct person. All right. So, and one of the things that we discourage you to do is to copy the job description or the advertisement in your cover letter. Right, so also link the skills that are required to your achievements and also your work experiences. Okay, so the third part is, yes, LinkedIn. Increase your visibility and also be an all-star on LinkedIn, because we do go on LinkedIn and we scout for people on LinkedIn as well. So your LinkedIn profile actually, like Aliana mentioned, communicates who you are, right? We want you to tell your story and we want to get to know you better. Right, and then the last part would be to do your research. So we encourage you to do your research in terms of what can EY do for you, not only what you can do for EY, because we also ideally want to know what we can help you do, and also why you're interested in EY and what motivates you to join EY. So we actually just want to get to know you as a whole, right? Okay. So with that, I hope you have gained some valuable insights on our internship program. And here's to wishing everyone a successful job application, regardless whether you are looking for an internship placement or a graduate role. All right, so I think now I pass back the floor to Eliana to open for Q&A. Yeah. Okay, thank you, everyone.
Hi, it's me again. Okay, don't be bored of seeing my face, because I will be sharing some very useful information for you to apply for your internship or your graduate role. So as you know, we are actively recruiting right now, be it for interns and even or even as graduates as well. Okay, and all right, hang on. So before we go into Q&A, I do want to share with you, this is the link that I have mentioned earlier. If this link is actually a unique link that we only share with students who have attended our engagement session. So that includes you guys. Don't miss out to bookmark this link. Even if your application is not ready yet, your CV still needs to be beefed up a little bit, that's fine. All you can do is just scan first and then bookmark it. You can apply once you're ready. But if you are starting your internship anytime soon, you might want to send in your applications ASAP, because we do need some time to process your application as well. Far, can you just share how far in advance should our students here share their internship application?
So if you're looking for an internship in May, you can actually just put in your application now already. So usually we would advise you to put in 2 to 3 months before the actual commencement date.
So you heard that, 2 to 3 months before your internship start date. Okay. What you need to include in the Google form, the details, is of course your name and all that, and then please also indicate the area of interest that you are thinking of joining, and our recruiters, like people like FAR, will probably help to then match you with the role that is suitable to your interest, to your background and your skills. Okay, so this is the link. I think my colleague will also be sharing it in the chat box if she hasn't already. And alternatively, you can also go through our careers website, but of course, through our careers website, you will have to compete with the hundreds of thousands of people who are also applying for the same role. So that's why this QR code that you have here is your fast track link to send in your applications to EY. Okay. Now, interestingly, this is what I shared earlier, we have been voted as a top graduate employer in Malaysia in 2021. Okay, so why did we get this recognition from university students in Malaysia? Because I probably didn't go in detail of the different programs, of the different activities that we have in EY and all that, but actually like people who have done their internship have also participated in these two awards and voted for EY as the top graduate employer, and these two recognitions are actually competed against all the big four firms in the same sector, which is accounting and professional services and also consulting. So as you can see, in Malaysia's 100 leading graduate employer, we are the winner for accounting and professional services, and we are also the winner for consulting. And you probably are aware that other firms have their like financial support for professional exams. We all have that in EY as well. And you know, how we differentiate ourselves from like other companies out there is through our inclusive and diverse culture. Okay, because I personally have spoken to a few colleagues who have joined like the different firms among the big four, and I see the similarity in the response that they share with me is that the culture in EY is very open. You know, even if you're sitting in a meeting with the partners or the managers and you're an intern, that does not mean that you just have to keep quiet and not say anything in the meeting. Your opinion is always valued, regardless of who you are in the firm. Okay, we do have associates who have just joined EY for a few months and wanted to, you know, start an initiative for the different celebrations that we have in EY. I mean, if the idea is great, why not? Nothing is stopping you. Yeah. So this is the kind of culture that we want to inculcate in EY, and we appreciate having people who share the same values as us. Okay, because if you think about like the monetary value, salary wise, probably about the same as other firms. In terms of the benefits, more or less okay. Maybe like some firms have like more benefits in some areas, some other firms has a few other advantages, and we all have our own advantages. But I would say if for EY, it's always the culture, the inclusive culture, and the sense of belonging among our people in the firm. Okay. So same goes with the Graduates' Choice Award. The accolade that we have gathered from this award is also a reflection of how well we've done as a firm to support our interns and graduates in starting their first career at EY. Okay, so may I please request for you to take out your phone, and I would really appreciate if you can scan this QR code here and help vote for EY so that we can continue being a top employer in Malaysia. Okay, so I'm just going to guide you through how to fill up this survey form, just to make sure that you are aligned with the kind of responses that you should be putting in, and also what you want to achieve out of your career. So if you're serious about applying to EY, I would like to welcome you to come and scan this QR code now. You will be taken to a question that asks you to select 3 categories for each of the groups. So I think you can see there group 1 of 6. That means you have to select 6 groups, and within each of the group, you have to select 3 categories. So in group 1, please put in accounting and professional services as one of the sectors. And then in the other 2 sectors, it's all up to you. And then in group 2, please put in consulting, and the other 2 sectors is again up to you. And for the remaining 4 groups, we leave it up to you to decide if there are any other alternative sectors that you might want to consider joining when you start your career. Okay, so just be very careful with this so that you get the selections right, because if you don't, then you probably won't see the selection for EY in the following questions. So after that, you'll be asked about which employer do you want to work for. So again, if you are serious about applying for a job in EY through the different support in terms of career growth, in terms of well-being, in terms of mobility, your ability to work across different locations, different service lines, please feel free to vote for EY as an employer of choice for accounting and professional services. And even if you don't think that you want to work in consulting, although you are an accounting graduate, there is no you never know. You might end up in consulting as well, because suddenly you realize, oh, this is actually something that I want to do, because there is a finance sub-service line under consulting, and that actually appeals to you more than doing audit. You never know, right? So you can just vote for EY in both sectors, accounting and professional services, and then EY for consulting as well. You don't need to complete the screenshot, send a screenshot to us. Once you are done voting, you are once you completed all, that is great. So I really appreciate your time for this. If you're not able to scan for some reason, you can also go to the website graduatechoiceaward.com/vote. Okay. So I've been talking for 1 hour more or less. And I really hope you've gathered enough information for you to decide, for you to see how EY has its own niche, how EY is more unique and in its own ways. And if you want to find out more about the different initiatives that we do, about job opportunities at EY, feel free to follow us on social media. Okay. Also, if you want, you can also connect with me on LinkedIn. And if you have any questions to ask about any job applications, or feel free to add Far as well, Farhana Rahimi on LinkedIn. She's our internship recruiter. So if you connect with her, sometimes she will be posting the latest internship opportunities at EY. You never know, you might be interested in those. So don't miss an opportunity to connect with all of us on LinkedIn. Okay. I think that's pretty much it for my sharing for today. Maybe we can open the floor for Q&A.
Yes. Thank you, Miss Eliana and Miss Farah, and platform speech regarding the LinkedIn and also. And now let us move to Q&A session. The technical team, you may share the screen slider platform. In the meanwhile, participant, you may type your question in the slido that have been shared by the committee in the chat box, or you in the queue. So I will read the question. All right, we have 16 questions so far. So the first question is, does EY coaching employs intern part-time student to join them during sem break?
Karen, you probably want to take up this question.
Sorry, does EY coaching employ non-intern part-time student? So I don't quite get the question. Non-intern part-time, as in just working, like, what do you mean by part-time?
Probably a temporary staff not undergoing their internship. So I guess so I think we don't hire temporary students, because our engagements are quite confidential. So we do want people who are employed with EY. So at least as interns, we know who you are, and why do you not want to be an intern? Because even if you're not doing your mandatory internship, even if you are in your second year, in your third year, you can still do your internship. Because the minimum period for internship at EY is 8 weeks. So you have your semester break. If your semester break is at least at minimum of 8 weeks, you can apply to be an intern, even if you're not in your final year or in your second final year. So even you're in second year, you can still apply to be interns at EY. And yeah, and you get paid as interns too. So why do you want to be paid as a part-timer, right? And you get access to the different licenses, different learning platforms and all that. It's so much better to be interns, yeah.
So the next question is, what do you think is the most suitable baseline for fresh graduates when they will in?
Most suitable service line. Actually, we open up our application for all service lines for graduates if there's an opening. I don't know, Far, you probably want to share a little bit more on this?
Okay, I think I shared before. It doesn't necessarily mean that you need to be from an accounting background in order to work in consulting. So some of our consulting interns actually come from mechanical engineering. They also come from, I think I've had people from biology as well. So it really depends on what your interest is. And what you let us know what your interest is, and then we will find the service line that is suitable for you.
If I can give like a little tip, maybe if you are an accounting graduate or you come from accounting background and you feel that you want to explore a career in technology consulting, doing robotics, for example, you can always, state that clearly in your cover letter by indicating why you want to take up technology consulting, because you've learned all these skills which will probably help you in performing your role and all that. So there's no hard rigid way of which service line you have to apply to based on your degree. It's all up to you. Our recruiters will do their best to match the roles according to what you want to join.
Right, that's a great. So the next question is, if we have found a job, is it still important for us to update our LinkedIn?
Yes, it is very important because why you need to update your LinkedIn is so that you can then be visible to people within your network itself. So like for me, right, I have maybe about close to 4 years ago when I joined EY, I actually came from a different industry, and then I changed my LinkedIn profile. I updated my LinkedIn profile, and then people realized that, oh, I am no longer in the previous industry that I am in, and now I'm in EY. And then the kind of people who add me on LinkedIn have also changed the demographic of the people, because I'm now in a different industry altogether. Yeah, so especially for you guys, students, if you have started your internship, why is it important to update? So that people know, oh, this person has done their internship with EY. That's very impressive. Yeah, or if you have started your career as a graduate, as an associate, then that also gives another impression. Wow, this person has secured an employment with the top employer in Malaysia, for example. So it shows the kind of achievement for yourself as well. So why not, right?
So it is very important and keep updating our LinkedIn, right?
That's right.
And the next question is, can we post our previous events that we had joined LinkedIn?
You mean the events that you have organized, I guess?
Yep.
So if that's the case, then yes, that actually contributes to the experience that you have in uni as well. So that just shows how active you are in uni. But if you're just attending the event as an attendee, maybe it doesn't carry that much weight. But if you're part of the organizing committee, I suggest that you include that as well.
Right, that's great. And the next question is, what will be conducted for the online assessment for internship? Does the digital interview has been include, or we still need another interview session?
Far, maybe it's best for you.
Yeah. So for shortlisted candidates, you can actually expect to perform a self-recorded video interview and also an online assessment. For our internship program, there will be no additional interviews, so only the self-recorded video interview and also an online assessment.
Okay, that's nice. All right. So for the next question, what are the best LinkedIn that has amazed recruiters in your years of working in EY?
far as a recruiter, have you seen any amazing LinkedIn profile? As
Have I seen any amazing LinkedIn profiles?
Mm.
Yes. Yes, I think there are a few of our interns who actually got converted into full time. So maybe you want to check out their LinkedIn and see what they actually post. So they actually post about their stories in EY and also what are the kind of things that they get to explore within the team. Yeah, so those are the kind of things that you share your story for other people to actually see and read.
True, true. And then, okay, so for the next question, could you walk us through the process of the application towards the internship or full-time job? How can the students ace in the interviews, like the tips, perhaps?
Okay, maybe I'll pass this question over to my colleague who's also in the call. Najia, you want to take this question?
Sure.
Oh,
Hi,
Najia.
everyone.
Hello.
Hi, everyone. Okay. I am actually working closely with FAR, both for the internship program. So for this question, like FAR mentioned, right, for internship, there's no interviews, but there is an online assessment, more like a self-recorded interview. So my advice is to be confident and also research about the company, the firm, what's our services, what's your interest as well. So it's easy for us to know this is what you would like to pursue professionally. For example, once you've graduated. So for those who are seeking for a full-time position, like our graduate program, there will be no interview, so you can't. No, there will be interviews, so you can't skip interviews. So first, I guess you can research about the hiring managers, see that who will be the interviewer, and maybe can stalk their LinkedIn profile just to see, how's their working experience and also how their profile is. So at least you get to know them prior to the interview. And I cannot press this enough, but be confident because that's what we would like to see and how you articulate your points well. Yep.
I think I can add on a little bit to that. So if it's an interview for a graduate role, I think be prepared to answer some technical questions. So you will actually need to do some reading on what you have studied during your uni years. So they will actually ask you some questions to gauge on your technical knowledge as well.
All right. I think it's better for the students to do an early preparation before we join the interviews. Okay,
Yes.
next. For the next question, are those who are joining as interns will be doing their internship virtually?
Do you want me to take this one?
Sure, sure.
Okay. For us, again, like for audit, the interns are actually on the field at the moment because I think it's opened up a bit. It's opened up already. So our interns are actually going to the field, joining the clients. For other service lines, depending on where the team is working from as well. So, but there is also sometimes the managers may say, hey, you can work from home, but predominantly we are trying to get everyone to be on face-to-face as well lah. I'm not sure how it is in West Malaysia. I think would be the same. I mean, we are hoping that the people can still have the face-to-face interaction as well with the teams.
Yeah, it's generally the same. So for our audit interns also, they do go out and meet clients in their engagements. And for different service line, like Karen mentioned, it depends on the team and how their working arrangements are like.
All right, thank you, Madam Karen. And also for the next question, if our internship starts during July and August, can we submit our application through the fast track link now? Because UNIMAC students will do internship on 25th July.
Yep, you can actually submit your application through the link now.
All right, that's nice. Okay, so for the next question, may I know? Oh, okay. Like, this is the same question. Okay, another one. What is the process after we apply for the fast track form? Will there be any interviews or online assessments?
question has already been answered before. So we can skip this one. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So for the next question, is it true that the accountants do not have work-life balance? Can you guys share your experience?
Classic question that the perception of accountants and auditors. Again, I think in every industry or in wherever job, I think not just accounting firm, maybe you're in other industries, if there is work to be done, I mean, you also need to manage your time and so forth. No doubts for accountant is because a lot of the clients year end is predominantly like together, maybe December year end, for example. So hence the deadline is there. So you would have to rush a bit more, put in a little bit more hours and so forth than normal time. But again, it's how you manage your time, and you need to have the flexibility as well when you are working in this industry. So it doesn't mean that you can't go out with your friends or you can't, enjoy your own what hobbies and all that. It's just how you yourself plan out and organize your work. I think that's very important. And work smart. Work smart during the day. Make the most of your 8 hours work. That sort of thing. So you don't, have to stay back and catch up on work that you were like not very efficient during the day, let's say.
True, Madam
Does
Karen.
anyone want to add some more from the recruiters? Professional.
No, Karen.
I think
All good.
no one. Yeah.
All right. I think it's true. Time management is very important for us in order to have a work-life balance. All right. So for the next question, does EY have any sponsorship for professional papers?
I can probably answer this first, and then Far Najiha, you can add more to my points if there's anything else. Yes, we do offer sponsorship for all professional papers of your choice. So once you join EY, you will be guided by our team in EY, who will share the different professional papers that you can take. And then I think right now the allocation is about 18,000, if I'm not wrong. But I think they're looking at increasing that as well, so that it helps students to have a little bit more wiggling room, because we do understand that sometimes the fees have gone up because of the whatever circumstances and all that. So that's one. But of course, students will be bonded after they take up the scholarship. So this scholarship, we actually call it as financial support. So not so much of a scholarship, but we basically cover your tuition fees, your exam fees, and all that. And we also provide study leave for students, for our people, to prepare for their exams, and then exam leave as well, on top of the study leave, on top of the different other leave that we have in EY. Yeah, so if you're smart about utilizing your well-being leave, we do have flexi leave. We have a lot of different types of leave at EY because we prioritize well-being so much, and that can actually be accumulated to help you more if you need more time to prepare for your exams. Yeah, I hope that answers your question.
Yes. Thank you. Okay, and also for the next question, does there have any UNIMAC students undergo their internship or practical training at EY or any branches in Malaysia or Kuching in specific previously?
Shall I take this question for Kuching? Yes, we have had interns from UNIMAC in our audit, and we are accepting internship applications. Yeah, now, and also UNIMAC graduates as well in our branch. Even in consulting.
Nice.
Yeah, consulting, audit. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Madam Karen. And okay, so we have like another 4 questions more. So for the next question, what are the top skills or extra points that an intern or a fresh graduate should have?
Far on a Jiha.
Jen, you want to take the question?
Sure, Ken. When you mean by top skills, like technical skills or soft skills, I can. But I think for soft skills, like I've mentioned, communication and also teamwork. Because in EY, even if you are an intern, it's all hands on deck. So, and there's no hierarchy, meaning to say your ideas are welcome. You'll be able to share with the partners, with the leaders, while you're working on engagements. So I guess the soft skills that I'm trying to say is teamwork, communication, and also leadership skills. For example, when presenting to clients, because we do have some interns that take up this kind of role, so that's actually good for you as well. But for technical skills, I think, Karen, would you be able to advise on the students on that?
Sure. Technical skills, I guess everybody comes in with the same canvas, is it? Or you'll have your degree, or you have your ACCA and so forth. Naturally, you would need to, if you're coming into audit, you would need to remember your double entries and your accounting standards lah. Or at least if you don't know, let me cancel this call. At least if you don't know or don't recall, go and refresh these things, before you join. Again, attitude is very important. Having a good attitude and the willingness to learn and the proactiveness, even though let's say you can always pick up the skill sets. With the right attitude, you can pick up and improve on the technical skills as you are working, that sort of thing. So again, some people could be very good with their results and so forth, but when you come in, your attitude and all that will make the difference.
I agree with both of you, because we do need to work on our technical skills, our communication skills, and even our attitude before we start working with other people. All right, so for the last 2 questions, what some of life advices would you give to students nowadays who are scared to step into the working life?
Maybe I can try and answer this.
Sure, Miss Eliana.
Okay. Step 1, don't be scared. Okay, because if you're scared, then you're not going to go anywhere. So, put that aside, put your fear away. Be clear of what you want to do. And one of the way to do that is by, attending these kind of sessions with employers, learn about their business, see if their values align to your values, and then don't stereotype all your applications and then send it out in bulk to all employers at one time. Just make sure that you tailor your application according to the role properly, so that you know what you are applying for. Yeah. So these are the kind of things that you first need to do, and don't be scared, because once you take the first step, you will be guided. Your instincts will guide you, and you have the people around you, you have your friends, you have you can connect to us on LinkedIn if you are not sure of what's the next step. There are a lot of people that you can ask for advice from. But again, step 1 is to not be scared. Okay.
All right, don't be scared, guys.
Yeah, don't be scared. Why be scared? I mean, working life was very exciting for me, because then I thought like, oh, okay, finally now I can make my own money. Now this is the time. So I was very excited. I don't know why I'm not scared. Maybe I'm not normal. I was actually very excited after I graduate, and I thought like, okay, now I don't have to attend classes, lectures, assignments, all that, final year projects, all that is behind me. So I was very excited. So don't be scared. You will find your path. Okay.
Okay, so for the last question, can you share about the well-being highlights at EY?
Wow, okay. This is quite broad. I will probably try and summarize this. Okay. Like
Sure.
I mentioned earlier, in EY, we focus on the 4 pillars of well-being, which is physical well-being, financial well-being, social well-being, and mental well-being. Okay, so physical well-being. I'm just gonna talk about the highlights, which probably means the things that would excite people like me and most people in EY is that, of course, the medical insurance and all that they're all covered. And if you are traveling for a business assignment, for if you have an engagement overseas, you will be covered through our company insurance as well. And then for associates, once you join EY and you are confirmed in employment, you will be provided with a home office setup support, meaning you'll be given some amount of money that will be credited into your as part of your salary, where you can set up your own home office. And we also have health screening subsidy, where we will reimburse the health screening for the managers. And then we have gym subscription membership subsidy once you've reached to a certain rank in EY. And then if you are being seconded overseas in a cold country, for example, we do provide winter clothing allowance too, if your project requires you to be in that country during winter or something. And then for financial well-being, we have FlexiCare allowance, which means each of you will have an additional sum of money deposited into your bank account on top of your salary to, it's called FlexiCare. It means it's flexible, up to you how you want to use that money for maybe your lifestyle, for work-life balance, sign up for whatever classes you want. You have that FlexiCare allowance. And like I mentioned just now, we have professional membership subsidy and also membership subsidy. So meaning you will be your professional papers, the exams that you'll be sitting, your tuition fees, all will be covered. And then if you continue to work in EY, your membership fee for all the professional bodies will also be subsidized. And I know they are not cheap as well. So this is a very important thing to have. And of course, we have employee discounts. We do have a few, quite a number of retailers who have partnered with EY, where you can go and show your EY tag and then you immediately get staff discounts. Okay. I'm not going to share that which retailer, or which supermarket, or which shop you can go to, because you will find out when you join EY. Okay. And then we also have per diem, but this one is more for people who are traveling outside of their office space. So if you're traveling to a different state, or if you are traveling to another country on business, for business reasons, for projects or engagements and all that, you will be reimbursed with per diem. Means you have your your, what do you call it? It's like your pocket money lah. Okay, to sustain whatever you need to buy or eat and all that. And then we have vehicle loan interest subsidy, which means EY will pay off a portion of your car hire purchase loan. Okay, so and then occasionally, when there are things to be celebrated or things to be commemorated, we do send out festive gifts as well to our colleagues around Malaysia. So that's for financial well-being. Okay. I do have a lot of things to share, so please blame your friend who asked this question. Okay.
It's okay, Miss
But
Ayana.
again, I would like to also thank this person for the question, because I am very excited to share all of these offerings that we have in EY, because these are the kind of opportunities that will actually make your exceptional EY experience. Yeah. So just now I covered the physical well-being, I covered financial well-being, and now let's talk about social well-being. So social well-being, as you can see in my slide earlier, you've seen how our social club called Club EY has organized different fun activities for everyone in EY everyone can join free of charge. Like I myself participated in the batik painting workshop, so I had the batik painting delivered to my house, and I joined the session live with the instructor and all that. We have like fitness sessions. Um, Before COVID, it was in the office, and after COVID, it was all virtual. We have annual dinner like what you saw just now, and even that under each service line, also they have their own activities as well. So it's not always about work, work, work. We also know how to balance it out with fun and casual activities as well. Okay, so last but not least, the mental well-being. As I mentioned earlier, we have the employee assistance program where people in EY can call into this hotline and speak to professional mental health um, professionals. And if you know, some of you who probably have family members or friends who have seen therapists and all that, each of the therapy can cost quite a fortune. Okay, so this is one of the advantages that we offer to our people at EY. And then apart from that, we also have, like what Far mentioned earlier, you have your buddy, you will have your counselor whom you can speak to if you have any challenges or there's anything that's bothering you. So all that is all covered under mental well-being. Yeah. And of course, apart from that, people like us in the talent team, we have our talent consultants for each service lines. If you have any issues with whatever challenges you have in your role and all that, you find that maybe talking to your counselor is not a very good thing to do, or maybe you want to speak to somebody else, then you can always go to the talent team and approach our talent consultants and all that. So there are a lot of support being offered at EY that covers the various facets of well-being. Okay, and in terms of that, for the mental well-being, we understand that work in EY or in any professional services firm can be quite hectic, and that's why flexibility is very important. I mentioned earlier we have the different leave we offer to our people. We have the annual leave, of course, which actually goes up the longer you stay in EY. We have flexi leave, which goes by its name, flexible. You can use it anytime you want as an additional leave days on top of your annual leave. You have your time off. Sometimes when you have to work on weekends, you can actually reimburse the time and take some time off during the work week instead. But of course, these things have to be discussed with your managers and your team as well. And then we have well-being break. Some people, they might need to, okay, but this is more for those who have worked in EY for a few years. They feel like, I need to take like a few months off, just to recharge and not work. You can do that too. And we call it as well-being break. And we have colleagues who have done that. And of course, we have that unpaid leave as well, but that is unpaid lah. So in terms of your self-development, if you are graduating and if you, let's say you just joined as an associate, and then your graduation for your degree is happening like a few months after you join EY, you can take up your graduation leave. Of course, then the other things, we have the marriage leave, the maternity leave, all that is also included. We even offer adoption leave for people who choose to adopt a child. No pet adoption, just child adoption. So we even offer that to people who want to adopt a child. And then we have home rest leave. This one is very popular, and I think it's very, very useful as well, because home rest leave is different than medical leave, where you don't need an MC to take home rest leave. Home rest leave is for when, some days you feel like you are not 100%, you have this migraine that doesn't really require you to go to a clinic, but it's actually hindering your productivity, and you feel like you need some time off from work. And then you can just tell your manager or your team that you're taking home rest leave. So you don't even need to take MC, and just take the day off, and it will be counted for as home rest. There are a lot more different types of leave that I probably won't be able to cover. during this whole time that we have. So that's why I said well-being is such a big thing in EY, and I'm very, very grateful to be part of the firm. And so far, this has been the best decision that I've made in terms of my career. So yeah, that's what I would say. If you ask me about the different well-being highlights, it's a lot. Mm.
All right, thank you, Miss Eliana, for sharing the highlights at EY. All right, so for the last question, Miss Karen, can you talk a bit on your experience as an auditor? What do you love the most about your job?
Okay, thank you for that question. Actually, I like to share a bit on my background. I am actually more helping out on the audit administration part in EY. Not so much a auditor. I do have my professional work actually. My background is actually liquidation, corporate recovery work. So I do dabble in that a bit on and off as well. But my main role is actually assisting the audit teams with the administration work, like, recruitment, branding and stuff like that. So it's really interesting. And maybe that's why I'm still really enjoying my work. I look forward, like career talks, it's really good to be able to participate in this and meet the students, even though I know we are meeting virtually, but when we were back in the pre-COVID days, going to the universities and all that, it's really, it's very energetic, just looking at all the young people and all that. And then also in my line of work, or in EY, we actually have a very strong people culture. So we like to touch base, catch up with the staff as well. So communicating with the teams and keeping in touch and all that is something that I enjoy doing as well. So how do I say? So what keeps me excited is the variety and the constant learning. Even at my so many years in EY, I'm also learning new things whenever there's something new coming in. So we will also embrace it. So again, being adaptable and all that to new scope, new standards, and so forth. Yeah. That kind of answer the question.
Yes, Miss Karen. All right, so I guess that's it for our Q&A session for today. All right, thank you, Miss Eliana, Miss Farhana, Miss Najiha, Miss Karen, and also Miss Joey for answering all of our questions. We really hope the participants can gain a lot of information from the Q&A session just now. And also, dear participants, we will now proceed with our photo session with speakers for today. So kindly open your camera and show your pretty whites and also happy faces, okay? Everyone, please open your cameras and don't be shy. Technical team, are you there?
Great. So everyone, I hope you are ready. I'll give you a few seconds. I think there's still want to open up the camera.
Okay, sure. So for those who want to still open your cameras, please do so, okay?
So yeah, I think that's it. In count 1, 2, 3, I'm gonna take some snapshot. 1, 2, 3. Once again, 1, 2, 3. All right, thank you.
All right, thank you everyone. And thank you, Miss Eliana and also Miss Farhana for the sharing sessions today. We hope that we can meet everyone again in the future. And okay, we are officially done with our sharing sessions, and we hope everyone gain valuable inputs from it. Also, thank you again everyone for attending our webinar session for today. Don't forget to fill in the feedback form that has been provided in the chat box, and please scan the QR code for checkout, or you may fill in the Google form that has been provided in the chat box. Don't forget, tomorrow we will have sharing sessions with representatives from Baker Hughes at 10 a.m. and also with ACCA at 2 p.m. Before we end our session, we still have another 2 ongoing contests during accounting week, so feel free to check out our Instagram and Facebook page at UNIMAC_official for further information, or you can check the box for details. As you can see from the screen, this is the hint for finding the culprit, so you can take a note if you wish to uncover the mystery. So that's all from us for today. Thank you, everyone. Take care and stay safe wherever you are. Bye. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Karen. Thank you, Miss Joey.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks, everyone.
Everyone.
Bye, Miss Najiha.
Hoping we can meet again in the next event.
Yeah, physical.
Asma, tutup your mic. Okay. Technical team, you may share the QR code.
Asma, unlock je Asma. Ada orang nak masuk scan.